Hi, I am Shraddha Kadakia, a commercial photographer and founder of Just Click image making company. To get close-up images of tiny subjects when shooting macro photography, you would normally want to reach out for a macro lens. But what if you want to shoot subjects so small that even the life-size reproduction provided by a macro lens isn't enough? Why not try a handy reverse lens technique? Few days back, we discussed about macro photography in simple words. If you missed, you may want to click the link on your screen to catch up on the subject we are about to discuss. With a simple reversing ring that costs about Rs 200 to 300 and a tripod, you can attach a lens to your camera the wrong way round. In simple words, we can mount the lens on the camera front side back using a simple accessory. This helps magnify the subject far beyond your expectation. However, there are compromises when using a reverse lens method. The first is that there is no longer any mechanical or electronic contact between the reverse lens and the camera. This means the two bits of kit can't talk to one another, so you lose autofocus and any opportunity for the camera to control the lens aperture. That last point would make you think you need to use a lens that has a mechanical aperture ring. No need. There's always a way to solve such problems using our smartness. I'll tell you how. Canon lenses by default are set to widest aperture when idle. When you dismount the lens for lens reversal, the aperture changes to widest possible in that lens. Here is the trick to make it rest on aperture of your choices. To stop down, off-camera Canon EF and EFS lenses, put the lens on a camera body the correct way around and set the aperture to the value of your desire, either in manual or aperture priority mode. Press the depth of field preview button. The iris inside the lens closes down. Remove the lens from the camera with the depth of field preview button held down. The iris remains closed. The technique gives more creative control over your reverse lens images. Let us now understand practically how to capture amazing lens reversal images. This is a lens reversal ring which is easily available in any camera store. Let's start with step 1. First of all, you need to screw the reversing ring into the filter thread of your camera. And then attach this combination onto your camera. We have used a commonly available Canon 1855mm EFS kit lens here, which means we will not have manual control over the aperture. It will be controlled by the camera directly. You now need to set the camera exposure and use manual focus. With the camera set up, fix it to a stable tripod and move it into place close to the table or worktop. Depth of field will be tiny at such high magnifications. So we have used an aperture of f16 using the technique what we have discussed before. Working out the exposure can be difficult with this setup. Your camera's exposure metering may not work and you will be working in the dark if relied on live view. Take a test exposure and then adjust the shutter speed until the exposure is correct. Position the subject. When you are shooting tiny things, you will need to juggle the subject, tripod and camera a little in order to get the composition just right. So, take your time. That was a quick and easy method to capture amazing macro photographs without spending a handsome amount of money. You can try using this technique for clicking subjects like tip of pencil, insects or even a human eye. It requires a lot of patience. Trial and error will become your closest companions and curiosity your mentor. Let's move on to a favorite click tip of the day. While clicking fireworks, turn off your flash and set your camera to manual mode. This allows you to control the exposure and aperture yourself. A good starting place for your setting is ISO 100, aperture f11 and shutter speed half a second. If the photos are looking too dim, Vary the shutter speed while keeping the aperture the same. Let us know the comments below in this solution you have tried and what you thought of the results. There are more ways to capture macro world using different techniques and accessories, which I'll be discussing soon. Make sure you are subscribed to Shoot It Right so you don't miss out on them. Have fun, happy clicking.